start another project, which we're familiar with, and that's writing a screenplay based on the Saboteurs trial. How did you get interested in that?
How did I get interested in that? I don't know. I thought that was such an interesting story. These men who, how they came to become saboteurs, how they were talked into going. Some were sort of forced. Some said, "You're disloyal German if you don't go." And I thought the story was interesting, and how heroic the defense counsel was for these saboteurs. What was his name? Forget his name now, but anyway, who was so careful and so leave no stone unturned that he got this trial of the saboteurs to the Supreme Court, where at that time Jackson was sitting, which was where the two intersected. Because, said, I can't remember his name, the main defense counsel.
Was that his name, Royal? Was he?
Royal,
Yeah.
Royal, Kenneth Royal, that's right. He said his point was these men should not have been tried by a military tribunal. They should have been tried by a civilian court, because the civilian courts were open and they were captured in civilian clothes. They were not soldiers, they were not fighting. But the judges outvoted him, and I think there is in history, Jackson made a statement himself about the trial and why it was a unanimous opinion that he was not granted habeas. The defendants were not given habeas corpus. The trial venue was legitimate, so he lost. They lost the case. Lost the case before the Supreme Court, and lost the case in the saboteur trial because all but two were put to death. Mm-hmm. Yep. The two were given long prison terms, and then eventually released and sent back to Germany. What happened to them, I don't know. I don't know.
How did you think to get the transcript?
That was interesting. I have a cough drop here, and then I won't speak so badly anymore. The transcript of the trial in Washington, I wrote to the Justice Department in Washington, and I said, I'd like a copy of the trial under the Freedom of Information Act. I should have been able to get it. They said, we had it once, but we've lost it. So then I wrote a letter to the author of a book called They Came to Kill. Eugene Rachlis was his name. It's a novel. Some libraries may still have it. He quotes from the transcript. So I wrote him a letter. He lived in New York. I wrote to the publisher. The publisher evidently sent him the letter and asked him how he got a hold of the transcript. He wrote me back and he said, come pick it up. I've got it in my basement. I don't want it anymore. The whole transcript. So I thought, great. So Max and I went in one Sunday afternoon to Fifth Avenue where he lived, went to see Eugene Rachlis, and he went into his basement and brought out this big carton, egg carton, with 3,000 pages of transcript in it. He said, take it. I don't want it anymore. Send me the play when you finish it, if you finish it. So I took it, and I did read it. I did read it all, took notes on it. And then I read that Eugene Rackless had died. Not such a young man anymore. So I still have the transcript. I asked you whether you wanted a copy. You said yes. So I have a son who's a lawyer. Every few days he'd take a day's trial session to New York with him. His office would Xerox it, bring it back, and last summer I gave it to you, and somewheres here
It's right up here in our archives.
in your archives is the transcript of that trial.
And with that transcript in hand, though, you have literally produced a play, a draft.
I have, and I remember sitting around a desk here with, what was his name?
Matt Kraft.
Matt Kraut?
Kraft.
Matt Kraft. Is he with that Bunbury?
Yes.
Bunbury group. He said, the play, we've got to, why not do it all in the trial scene? Just have one scene, the trial scene. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Thinking he was going to do it. And he's thinking I'm going to do it. So, and nothing's gotten done.
Maybe we ought to connect the two of you together here before you get out of town.
But then it's going to be the same thing. I'm in New York, he's up here.
Yeah.
And I've seen a poster of some of the things he does, more current, more interesting, and yeah.
But frankly, the subject matter has gotten even more germane
Right.
since we started this project.
That's right. That's right. I keep thinking about it, but I don't know. I don't seem to have the energy.
Well, let me do this before too long. Now that I've thought about this again, I'll re-energize Matt as well to see if that has an interest, especially for next year at Chautauqua. I think that would be, well, even if we had a reading, even if we had used part
A
of it.
reading would be good. That's always a good way to start a play, isn't it? See how it reads.
That's right. And David Zinman up at Chautauqua has done that, where he's done a couple of plays, one on Huey Long, and what he's done in order just to test it, he just had readings. And it's been very well attended, and
Does he do it in the winter?
now he does it during the summer.
He does it during the summer. Also the winter or just the summer?
Just the summer.
Just the summer.
At Chautauqua, he'll take Lene Hall, and he'll just have 6 or 7 people read it.
Because we have a friend at Chautauqua who lives there year round. His name is Paul Cawane. He has a house there. And my husband asked him yesterday, what do you do in the winter? And he said, well, we do this, we do that. And once a month, we have a play reading.
Really?
So we're going to see him tonight. I'll have to ask him some more about that.
Well, ask him, and who knows, maybe that's a good trial.
A really good, because it's very small and yeah, all right. I'll find out more about that play reading.
Oh, this is terrific. By the way, we are going to Nuremberg, November 18th through the 20th, right in the courtroom at the beginning. Whitney's going to be there. So think about it, Max. Think about it.
18th to 20th to Nuremberg. My goodness.
Yeah, this has been terrific. Just terrific. I'm delighted you came down. I'm delighted we caught up with each other at the...
Good. Yeah, wasn't that was serendipitous? Huh?
Yeah, serendipitous.
Serendipitous. Yeah. I'm glad too. It's nice. I'm 22 again for an hour.
Oh, this is great. Max, is there anything I should ask her?
Ask her where she's going to lunch.
You haven't had lunch yet?
No, we'll go out for lunch now.
Thank you so much.